Hello, my name is David Blackman, editor of Pensions Insight and Engaged Investor, and we're here today at the NAPF conference. Delighted to welcome onto our stand Alan Rubenstein, Chief Executive of the Pension Protection Fund, for a short interview following his keynote appearance before lunch today. Hello, Alan.
Hi there, David.
Hello. Enjoying the conference so far?
Yes, it's been an interesting conference, I think.
Yeah. You were talking. Went into quite a bit of detail on the future of the levy in your keynote presentation. I suppose the big question a lot of the delegates would be wondering would be funding levels are improving. Why are we seeing a 10% increase in the levy?
Well, if you remember last year when we spoke pretty much at the same time, we explained that because of the way that funding works and because of the way that smoothing works, levies would be going up by around 10%. We were able to forecast that then, and in fact that turned out to be pretty accurate. And it's partly, I think, due to the fact that although we haven't seen any change really in insolvency rates, we have seen funding move quite markedly. Now, one of the ways that we sought to give greater predictability and stability to people in the new levy formula was to use a smoothing over the 5 years of assets and liabilities. And it's that really that's led to this. What we've protected people from is the big increases that would have happened had we just simply followed the path. And instead, we've smoothed that out. And now what we're seeing is the curve starting to turn up. And of course, the actual experience moves more quickly than the smoothed experience. So if we continue to see interest rates rise, if equity markets continue to perform, then we will see funding improve, and we will also see the smooth values start to reflect that too.
Sure. You're just about to embark, as you were explaining in the presentation, on a far-reaching review of the methodology underpinning the levy. What hope can you offer to hard-pressed DB schemes that this will result in a reduction of the rate of the increase in the levy?
Well, the review that we're taking, or that's taking place at the moment, is not really about the level of the levy, it's about the methodology, how we calculate it. So one of the big changes is that after what will be 9 years with DNB, we're moving to Experian, and we are hopeful that the work that we're doing with Experian and with the steering group made up of the NAPF, TUC, CBI and others will help us to make sure that we better reflect the risks that pension schemes and their sponsors pose. One of the issues that we certainly are told about frequently is pension scheme sponsors are a different universe from UK industry as a whole. They're much more mature. They're typically larger employers in the DB space, and we want to therefore make sure that, if possible, we have a risk-based levy which improves on where we are and captures that. So I think that is the major change you'll see coming out of the levy review. But otherwise, we're willing to make changes on the basis of evidence, but purely evidence.
So it's a certain amount of frustration in your presentation, or in some of your answers to questions about UK companies being, perhaps not being sufficiently willing to put their hands in the pockets for pension contributions. We're just about to see this. We're just about to see this new growth objective. What kind of do you have any concerns about how this is going to impact upon the PPF?
I'm not sure I'd say frustration, but I think if we talk about the new objective, the reality is none of us really know what it's going to mean yet. And it's certainly the case that the regulator already has an objective to protect the PPF. So certainly we are not going to overreact. We're going to wait and see what the evidence is as to the impact this has on scheme funding. But it's clear that given that our levies are based on the risk of insolvency times the level of underfunding, if that were to lead to lower funding in schemes, inevitably levies would have to increase to cover that gap. So it's really a question of, you get what you pay for.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you very much for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.